How was it to get back out there on the field in Detroit? First time since last December, 2 Decembers ago.
It was great. I mean, I miss being out there. I didn't. You never really realize how much you appreciate something until it's taken from you. So for me, I just love being out there just with the guys, the camaraderie, competing, grinding, going through the adversity with them on the field. It was very. It meant a lot to me, and it took more than enough time for me to get back out there. So I was very excited.
So is it true that you were planning to just be there with the guys, not suit up and play with the guys, and get back out there on the field for a divisional playoff game until Aaron Rodgers texted you? Is that a true story?
Yeah.
David?
So, the idea was, for me, I feel very confident. I played enough games. I don't really feel like I have, like, game jitters,
yes,
so to speak. And I know maybe some coaches maybe like, well, we'd love to see, can you do it? They have that kind of idea of being worried of, like, we don't want you having any rust in a playoff game when it's do or die. Because for me personally, as long as I put back-to-back practices, I knock off the rust, I go through the mental gymnastics of certain plays and adjustments, aiming points in practice, I feel good. I don't really need, I've played more than enough games. But then, having Aaron, I think Aaron kind of wanted to see it as well with the coaches, so he kind of shot me a text, and I was like, all right, man, you know what? If you really, really want me out there, we've had such a long history together. I'll do this for you. Maybe you don't believe me when I tell you I don't have rust. I gave him a little shot. I'm like, I know, maybe you have a little more rust than me, or his week one dilemma. But I mean, I went out there; it was pretty smooth. I felt good, and then middle of the series, I was like, you know what? I did more than I even wanted to. I just kind of kept rolling, and no one was even talking to me. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna try and bite off more than I can chew on the my first game back.
Yeah.
The most important game is the actual playoff one. This is a good test. I think everyone's happy. I proved anything. Not that I really need to prove anything to them, but I proved them that I did fine in the game. So let's just call it a day. 27
snaps, I believe, is the actual count. So was Aaron? Did he just say, "Hey, man, play," or was he passive aggressive? What was he like? What was the text like?
No, he was really sweet about it. He texted me, "Hey, I really would love to see you out there this week." And that was pretty much the beginning of the conversation. And then I told him, I said, let me go through my week progression. I'm going to go Wednesday. I'm going to take Thursday off. I'm going to go Friday. If I like how those 2 days feel, and we don't have any anomalies or variables come into play, then I'll strap it up with you and I'll be out there with you.
And because again, I mean, that's turf too. That's not frozen tundra. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So that's not
the most ideal, not the most spongy surface for a knee joint.
Yeah. And so, what was your rehab like, David? What was it like? And before we start turning to the page to playoffs, but in the past, what was that like?
It felt like it was never ending. I just kept at it, and I've never been through something like this before. So for me, it was figuring out what my new normal was without having any reference of what it was. So before, when I was about to return the first time, I'm like, this doesn't feel great at all. But I mean, I would assume you're not going to feel awesome or the same. But apparently, I guess what I was feeling was not normal for the new normal. So again, I had to go back in and do a cleanup. They call it a scope, and then I really started noticing, okay, this is how I'm supposed to feel. And then obviously with that, the other issue is now I have 2 surgeries underneath my belt. I hadn't fully recovered from the first one yet, so my knee's not the happiest camper. So now it's just trying to get that to come back, and I'm just blessed and pleased that having good communication with the GM and this team, that they kept me on the roster and trusting me that I was going to be back and give me every opportunity to come back in time.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.